so good.
Hello there, my beautiful friends. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you're new here, what is up? My name is Julia, and I'm here to support you on your intuitive eating and intuitive living journey. I'm all about finding your own unique balance to live a happy, fulfilled, and nourished life.
Whoa.
So no surprise, I'm starting my day off with a matcha. However, I steep some lavender flower in with this as well, and we're also having an iced matcha. Ice drinks are slowly making their way into my life. And you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. For breakfast today, we're going to make some toast, because what better way to start the day than having some toast? I feel like that is just such a classic way to start your damn day. So I got some vegan cream cheese that I picked up for some sort of recipe that I needed a while ago, and it's just been hanging out in my fridge. So I decided to make my toast extra creamy with some vegan cream cheese, some avocado, and then I threw some Dijon mustard on there for a little bit of spiciness. I love mustard so much. I know that's not everyone's thing, but for me, it's so freaking yummy. I also added some hemp seeds, some sesame seeds, lots of greens, some pickled red onions, and some broccoli sprouts as well.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm making a mess. So simple, so good.
After I ate that delicious breakfast, I made myself a glass of AG1 to give myself a little energy boost. I've been taking AG1 off and on for about 6 months or so, and I really love it. It's one of those things that when you include it into your daily regimen, you really notice its benefits, and when you don't, you miss it. You miss it.
And with that said, I want to say thank you to Athletic Greens for sponsoring today's video. AG1 will help you fill the gaps in your nutrition, and it's just so much easier than trying to remember all of your individual supplements. I know even when I set reminders on my phone to take them, I oftentimes forget, because it's not as easy as opening up your fridge in the morning, seeing the packaging right then and there, adding a scoop into a cup along with some water, giving it a shake, giving it a stir, and actually enjoying taking your supplements. AG1 is the all-in-one nutritional drink, I swear to you, and with so many, 75 to be exact, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, probiotics, it's just got all of the good things packaged up in one powder for you. To me, I've really noticed a difference in my digestive health as well as my skin and my nail health. As someone that suffered with eczema for many, many years, I've made so many dietary changes to help myself, and I'm finally in an amazing place with my skin. But sometimes I still enjoy the foods that trigger me, or my diet isn't in check all of the time, because, well, my friends, that's just life. But when I take my Athletic Greens, I have that little extra assurance that I'm gonna be okay. And for something that supports your immune system, as well as being vegan, gluten-free, paleo, keto, low calorie, and barely has any sugar in it, I think I touched on everything. It actually tastes amazing. It's not earthy, it's not grassy, it's not one of those things that you just have to chug because it's good for you. It's actually enjoyable. So if you wanna check out AG1, click the link down in my description box, and you can get a free year supply of vitamin D3K2, as well as 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Thank you so much, Athletic Greens, for sponsoring today's video. I love you. I love you, and I love all of you. So take care of your body, okay? Get some AG1. I love you. Ah! Oh no!
So today we're actually making a recipe from my recipe book, because I'm trying my best to get it done for you guys before I leave on my adventure. However, I was so freaking hungry and could not wait to get something in my stomach. So I munched on half of a sandwich that was a buffalo chickpea mash sandwich. That's also in my recipe book as well. I'm so excited to share this with you very, very shortly. Anyways, I steamed my broccoli, I added some salt and some garlic powder to it, and once it was finished, I set it aside and wiped my pan clean, and then got some lemon pepper tofu that I had marinating overnight into my pan, fried it up until it was golden brown, and then made this beautiful bowl.
I'm
I drizzled this homemade, delicious, cashew, creamy, yummy sauce on top of this lemony, peppery bowl, and it was just a match made in heaven, if you ask me. I was not feeling anything too fancy for dinner tonight because sometimes your girl just needs to relax and not worry about freaking cooking or what she is putting in her body. So tonight I literally just boiled up some frozen veggie dumplings and then drizzled a miso spicy vinegary sauce on top and then cut some chives over it and then threw some sauerkraut on there too, simply because I love fermented foods and I thought sauerkraut was very suiting for my dumplings.
Can't imagine if I stayed back.
I used to get really stressed out if I didn't have the quote-unquote perfect meal or quote-unquote balanced meal because I thought, oh my god, I'm like ruining my body. I'm ruining my body if I don't eat perfectly all of the time. And that is such a bad mindset, my friends. I used to torture myself with this and torture myself with thinking I had to be perfect all of the time when it came to food. But at the end of the day, you really, really do not have to be. It's important to fuel your body the majority of the time with foods that make you feel good, but at the end of the day, you're allowed to have a lazy meal and just simply enjoy what you're eating. I ask myself how I feel mentally and physically every single day to get in touch with myself and see what I need to put into my body. And sometimes that means an insanely lazy day of food. And sometimes that means spending hours in the kitchen because I feel inspired to do so. Not every single day has to be the same. Not every single day you have to eat the exact same food or the exact same amount of calories to have a happy, fulfilled, nourishing life. After that delicious, kind of lazy breakfast sandwich, I decided to make myself a super, super yummy, nourishing bowl. I had some brown rice hanging out in the fridge. I put it in my bowl, took it out of my bowl because I didn't know what the heck I was doing here. But I chopped up some kale. I threw that into my bowl along with some lime juice and some salt, and I gave it a really good massage with my hands just to help break it down to make my body digest it a little bit easier. Sure, that's a word now. I threw my brown rice back along with some steamed broccoli. I did the same thing that I did yesterday. Added some salt, added some garlic powder to it. I then topped my bowl off with some kimchi, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, and then a leftover creamy, delicious sauce that I had hanging out in the fridge from a previous recipe. Of course, I had to throw some sriracha on here because your girl loves spice, and that's just the way I want to live my life. I munched on some leftover mushroom chips, which are the weirdest thing, and if they weren't covered in the massive amount of seasoning that they are, they probably would not taste very good. But sometimes it's nice to try out something new and exciting and experiment with your food, my friends. I always suggest to experiment with your food because at the end of the day, you only live one life, and why not intrigue yourself with one of your senses, your taste buds? Anyways, I am oiling up, salting up, and covering these two massive potatoes and throwing them into the oven. These took forever. I also gave up on trying to perfectly wrap my dish in my tinfoil. I just clobbed it over the potatoes and threw it into the oven. I warmed up some leftover gnocchi with some pesto, threw some spinach in there, munched on that while I was waiting for my potatoes, and got everything else prepared, chopping up some onions, some celery, some carrot, and then I'm going to saute it in some oil. If you know that smell, you know that smell, and would probably agree that it is freaking delicious and just makes your house smell like home. I threw a can of white beans in here along with a decent amount of this Korean barbecue sauce. I used to never buy barbecue sauce because I low-key was addicted to it when I was a little kid because I didn't even like the taste of meat. If you ask anyone that knew me when I was a kid, I'd have a chunk of meat on my plate and then I'd have a pile of barbecue sauce about the same size, if not larger, than the chunk of meat, and I would have to roll my meat entirely in barbecue sauce for me to actually enjoy it. But then as I got older, I never bought it for myself because I thought it was unhealthy. And why would I buy something that was unhealthy, right? Why would I waste my money on food that was unhealthy? That was a thought process that went into my head when it came to many different foods. But at the end of the day, I'm allowed to enjoy whatever food my heart desires. And if I enjoy the taste of something, then I'm allowed to have it. Anyways, my friends, good morning. Started my day off with some AG1, and now we're making a fruit granola bowl. Cut up some mango, which I asked you guys the easier way to cut up mango a while ago, and then every single time I cut up a mango, For whatever reason, do it the old way out of habit and never try the new way. Every single time I do it, I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I try the cup way? Why didn't I try to use a cup to get the mango out of the seed? And then I just start, and then it happens every single time. Anyways, after I made my granola bowl, I made myself a quick little matcha. Not an iced one today. We're making a hot one today because we were feeling in the mood for something hot, you know? When you're in the mood, you're in the mood. Am I right? I shouldn't joke about that anymore. And literally munched on so much chocolate today. Not gonna lie, I just kept on going back for more and more and more. So those 2 pieces that you saw, multiply that by like 7. For lunch today, I'm throwing together a really quick pasta. So I'm sauteing up some portobello mushrooms, some garlic, along with a piece of tempeh that I just had hanging out in the fridge that I needed to use up. I then threw on some whole wheat pasta, seasoned my mixture with some salt, some pepper, some chili flakes, some oregano, some basil. And while all of that was cooking, I made myself an iced hot chocolate milk. I made chocolate milk, basically, with a little bit of matcha in it. So cocoa powder, a little bit of matcha. I whisked that together along with some maple syrup, and then I poured it over some ice and my milk, stirred it on up, and enjoyed. After my pasta was done, I threw it into my pan along with all of the other remnants that I was frying up and some cashew cream sauce. That cashew cream sauce will be in my recipe book, so do not worry. And for a little extra flavor, I added some white balsamic vinegar and a dash of water just to kind of help things along. I plated up about half of it, and then I actually packed up the rest of it and ate it later today. So today doesn't really have a dinner attached to it, but I did eat the rest of that pasta. I was on the go. I had a super, super busy night, so I unfortunately just did not film myself eating the rest of the pasta, but you're gonna have to trust me, my friends. So I really do love a coffee in the morning. Like, there's just something about sipping on a coffee that just warms your heart, makes you want to sit in the woods. Well, that's how I feel anyways. I also learned that I'm a light roast coffee drinker, not a dark roast coffee drinker, so that's new information from me. You're welcome. I munched on some leftover Buddha bowl for breakfast. Nothing too fancy here. I was just feeling a lazy day, sipping on my coffee and eating some leftovers. I threw the corn into the oven, yes, whole. I didn't do anything to it other than run it under some water for a few minutes, and that's it. Chucked it into the oven at 375 degrees for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes or so. And I swear to you, that is the way to cook your corn. Don't boil it. Don't do that stuff. Don't peel it when it's raw and try to boil it, okay? You are ruining your corn. You're taking out all of the flavor and putting it into that water. You might as well just drink the water that you boil the corn in. We're making a big old Mexi salad, and that's why we needed the corn. So we chopped up a bunch of veggies, threw in some pickled jalapenos, and I also meant to buy black beans, but I bought red kidney beans. Sometimes you pick up the wrong thing, and that's okay. Threw it in there. And now we're making a quick little dressing with some lime juice, salt, garlic powder, chili powder, and chipotle powder, along with a splash of pickled jalapeno juice. Pulled out my corn and then peeled it. You'll see here that all of the little strings just come right off. You don't have to pick them off like little hairs that are so annoying when it's raw. It just comes right off when you cook it like this, okay? It's the way to do it. I threw a whole cob of corn into my salad along with my dressing, mixed it on up, and enjoyed. This was so colorful, so fun, so refreshing. Highly recommend.
I've been looking for an answer in your inner eye. I've been pulling back the curtains of your...
For dinner, again, I just wanted something quick, something easy, something flavorful. That is the way I like to go when it comes to food, because why stress over what you are cooking? No, don't do that to yourself. Cook stuff that is easy yet flavorful, and you'll be a happy person, okay? Sauteed up some onions, some portobello mushrooms, and some salt and some pepper. Once the mushrooms started to brown, I threw some balsamic vinegar in there, along with some spinach, along with some homemade pesto, and then mixed it all together. Threw it on top of the leftover potato and some cashew cream sauce, and then I drank a Heineken. Guys, you're allowed to drink a beer. You're allowed to drink alcohol, obviously, if you're of age. That's one thing that I would always avoid as well because there is too many calories. There's too many. But guess what? If your girl wants a beer, I'm going to have a beer. And if your girl wants a cocktail with breakfast, I'm allowed to have a cocktail with breakfast, my friends. And I'm also allowed to eat a vegan fried sandwich with fries for breakfast because, my friend, you are allowed to order what you want from a restaurant. You don't have to get a side salad with your sandwich, with your burger. You do not have to get a side salad. That is something that I always would do to myself. Oh, I guess I need to get the garden salad and I would never get fries. No, get your freaking fries, okay? Enjoy French fries. They're freaking delicious.
Waiting just to wake up from this nightmare where you could be right back in my arms, dancing to the limbo.
I do want to say that my breakfast was basically at lunchtime. So for dinner, we are making a big old stir-fry bowl with rice noodles because that is what my body was craving and I was freaking hungry.
I feel like that's how people feel when they make bacon.
Started off by sauteing up a half a block of tofu in some toasted sesame oil. I then threw my carrot, my pepper, my red onion, my garlic, my ginger, and my green onions in along with it. Sauteed that until they were getting soft. And then as they were sauteing, of course, we have to make a sauce for our noodles and our stir fry. Used the rest of my tamari that I had in the house and then added some more soy sauce on top of it, maple syrup, and then a decent amount of this Korean spice. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it down below for you guys. I just got it off of Amazon, along with a splash of rice vinegar as well, of course.
I think this is more of an appropriate size bowl.
Oh, what is up with me today? I am hurting myself all the time.
So after all of that drama, I let my rice noodles hang out in some boiling water for quite some time until they were nice and cooked, but not quite fully cooked because we are throwing them into the stir fry. And this is one thing that I always forget to show you guys that I do when I make rice noodles is rinse them after because they're rice noodles and they have starch on them. So giving them a good rinse will help them not stick to each other as much as if you didn't rinse them. So, little tippy poo, I threw them into my veggies along with lots of fresh cilantro and basil, and I could not wait. I could not wait. I had to eat right out of the pan. I eventually got the pan over to the bowl and plated it up. It was so freaking good. I kept on picking at it and picking at it. I basically ate this entire pan of stir fry in one sitting.
This looks so freaking incredible. Holy guacamole. I cannot wait to dive into this.
Oh, good.
I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video and got some value out of it as well. And if you are on a food healing journey, remember that you are not alone and food is not your enemy. It is here to enhance your life and make your life better. It's here to nourish your body and intrigue your senses. So nourish your body in a way that feels good to you, but also remember that food is supposed to taste good and be enjoyable. I'm sending everyone so much love, and if you could do me a massive favor and hit that like button and the subscribe button, I would truly, truly appreciate it. I'll see you again so very soon.